Welcome to the deep dive. Do you ever just feel completely swamped, like overwhelmed by all the information, maybe a bit disconnected?
Oh, definitely. That feeling's pretty common these days.
Yeah, and we think a lot of it comes from these mechanistic or digital ways of looking at the world. Everything feels like a transaction, always faster, more consumption.
Right, like a machine that never stops.
Exactly. It's like this relentless flood. It can just leave you feeling completely exhausted.
hmm
So the whole idea behind this series really has been about cultivating what we call inner wisdom. It's like the best defense against that flood,
A way to find your anchor.
precisely. And you, our listener, you're joining us for the final part of this journey. This is our fifth deep dive, and today it's all about showing up.
Culmination.
Exactly. We've already explored waking up, building awareness, then growing up, getting perspective, and cleaning up, which was about integrating those fragmented parts of ourselves.
Putting the pieces together.
Right. So today, our mission is really to see how showing up brings it all home, how it transforms wisdom from something you just cultivate into something you actually live.
Yeah, and just to remind everyone, the way we've talked about inner wisdom in the series is as a state of consciousness that reveals deep insights through a discernment process. It involves an intuitive ability, really, to grasp how things are interconnected.
So you can make thoughtful decisions and, well, act skillfully.
Exactly. It's less about mental wrestling and more about this intuitive flow. And showing up is the embodiment of that. It's marked by what we've called spaciousness.
Spaciousness. Tell me more about that.
Think of it like having internal room to breathe. Mental openness. It allows you to respond fluidly to situations, and it's all rooted in being truly present and acting with integrity. It's where all the earlier work, waking up, growing up, cleaning up, it all comes alive.
Okay, that spaciousness sounds, well, like exactly what we need against that flood we mentioned, the overwhelm.
It really is.
So how does this inner spaciousness actually work
Yeah.
in our everyday lives? What are the kind of pillars that hold up this idea of showing up?
That's the core question, isn't it? When we truly show up, our wisdom integrates everything: awareness, perspective, inner clarity into a way of being. And this is supported by three, let's say, core pillars: presence, integrity, and responsiveness.
Okay, presence, integrity, responsiveness. Let's start with presence.
Right. So presence,
Yeah.
it's more than just, physically being somewhere. It's a really deep attunement to the here and now.
Like really paying attention.
Yes, with intention, an intention to connect with yourself and with others without distraction, without putting up a front. It builds right on that awareness we talked about in waking up.
So you can see things as they really are, as they emerge.
Exactly. It's about being open, receptive,
Yeah.
really tuned in to life unfolding. There's a great description from master coach Doug Silsby. He called it a state of awareness in the moment, characterized by the felt experience of timelessness, connectedness, and a larger truth.
Wow, timelessness and connectedness. That sounds deep.
It is. And Peter Senge, looking at it from a Buddhist angle, suggests presence happens when we're consciously aware of both the big picture, unchanging truths, what he calls the absolute, and the everyday reality right in front of us, the manifest.
That deep attunement. It sounds incredibly powerful, especially, with everything screaming for our attention all the time. But for our listeners, how do we actually practice that when distractions are constant?
Yeah, good question. It can actually be simpler than it sounds.
Okay.
You could start just by noticing your breath or feel your feet on the floor. Simple things. It's about bringing your focus to one thing just for a moment, creating a tiny pause in all that mental chatter.
And the benefit, like right now.
The immediate benefit is, well, you feel less scattered, you get a bit more clarity, a sense of calm maybe, and that lets you respond thoughtfully instead of just, reacting. It's amazing how presence creates that connection.
Okay, that makes sense. It creates a foundation. Yeah. So then, thinking about the next pillar, integrity, how do we get from just being present to, well, acting in a way that feels aligned, whole? That seems like a big step.
It is a significant step, absolutely. Integrity in this context is about being whole, complete. It's about aligning what you believe, what you do, and the commitments you make.
Aligning principles, actions, commitments.
Yes. Now, some people hear integrity and think, oh, rigid rules. But here, think of it in two ways, both really dynamic. First, integrity as an inquiry.
An inquiry. How so?
It means actively looking for misalignments. Places where agreements are broken or maybe missing or incomplete, things that are stopping things from working smoothly, either for you or with others.
Ah, so it's about noticing the friction.
Exactly. And second, integrity is a practice, and I love this metaphor for it, a mountain with no top.
A mountain with no top.
Meaning the goal isn't perfection, it's about constantly realigning. When you find a misalignment, it's not a failure. It's actually a signal, an invitation to get stronger, more integrated.
So it connects back to the earlier stages.
Absolutely. It's the natural result of waking up to your ego, growing up enough to question your perspectives, and cleaning up by facing discomfort. Ultimately, integrity is what ensures you show up authentically and, importantly, in service of something bigger than just yourself.
I can really see how those pieces fit now. It's about being congruent inside and out. Okay, so when you have that deep presence and that wholeness of integrity, your responses start to flow more naturally.
That's the idea.
Which brings us to the third pillar, responsiveness, or, as our source calls it, intriguingly, spontaneous.
Yeah.
What's the difference there? Is it just reacting quickly?
That's a great question because the distinction is really key. Usually we think of responsiveness as, being proactive, maybe anticipating things.
Right, planning your response.
But that view often misses the importance of spaciousness, that openness we talked about, the ability to meet each moment fresh without just slapping on an old response pattern.
Okay.
And that's where spontaneous comes in. It's a blend, obviously, of responsiveness and spontaneous. It's not just reacting skillfully even. It's more like a fluid, flowing responsiveness that just emerges from your presence and your integrity.
So it's not forced.
Not at all. When those qualities are in balance, you kind of move beyond effortful action. It becomes more intuitive, natural, and crucially, this is not the same as being impulsive.
Right, impulsivity feels reactive, ungrounded.
Exactly. Spontaneous action comes from intentional openness. It actually cultivates harmony. You move with the moment, not against it. And you act with clarity, with discernment, so you're not just reactive, but you're not passive either.
It sounds like it pulls everything together.
It really does. It integrates the awareness from waking up, the maturity from growing up, and the integrity from cleaning up. When these are working together, your actions start to flow, almost effortlessly sometimes.
So presence, integrity, and this spontaneous responsiveness.
Yeah.
These are the legs of the stool for showing up as wisdom in action. But you said underlying all of this is something called the power of space.
Yes. It's absolutely fundamental. Your relationship with space is at the very heart of showing up.
How does that connect to the different stages we discussed?
Well, each domain deepens it in a way. In waking up, you use concentration to slow down, to notice those little moments of space between thoughts or actions.
Okay.
In growing up, you use reflection to deliberately create space between an event and your reaction to it.
Right, not just jumping straight in.
Exactly. Cleaning up deepens awareness further, helping you let go of ego clinging, cultivating non-attachment, which is a form of space. And then in showing up, mindfulness helps you cultivate this inner spaciousness. It's a fascinating paradox.
Go on.
You almost become the space itself, and that space transforms the heaviness of life into something lighter, more fluid. It invites emergence, connection, and it's really rooted in that Eastern idea of impermanence.
Impermanence.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Right, recognizing that everything, your body, your thoughts, feelings, situations, it's all constantly shifting. And if you really grasp that, you can meet experiences with more ease, less resistance, because even difficult states will pass. They make room for something new.
So how do we work with this space actively?
Good question. To really live with presence and integrity and that spontaneous flow, we need to work with space in two main ways: holding space and creating space.
Holding space and creating space. Okay, what's holding space?
Holding space is about attuned witnessing. It's providing a kind of psychological container for yourself or for others to process whatever needs processing. Emotions, thoughts, experiences, but without judgment.
Like Carl Rogers' unconditional positive regard.
Exactly like that. It means allowing whatever is present to just be seen, be felt, be acknowledged without you trying to fix it or interfere. The metaphor often used is a bowl that holds what must be witnessed.
A bowl. I like that. So the main practice is just being present, grounded.
Yes, grounded presence is key. Now, there is a potential pitfall. Sometimes you can over-identify with the need for safety or get caught up in the suffering or even your own role as the holder.
Okay, so be aware of that. And creating space. How's that different?
Creating space is more about recognizing that impermanence. seeing existence as constantly emerging and dissolving. It's about actively cultivating conditions for something new to arise by removing obstacles.
Obstacles like,
Attachments, resistance, fixed ideas. You're allowing for natural openness and flow. This is really deeply rooted in Eastern philosophies. You find it in Taoism, Zen, Dzogchen, Advaita Vedanta.
and it cultivates non-attachment.
Yes, non-attachment, emptiness, flow. And remember, non-attachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're not clinging so tightly to how things should be that you can't adapt or find peace when they change.
It sounds like that paradox of control and surrender again.
Precisely. Think of a tightrope walker. Total control, yet total surrender to the moment. It's that
Right.
kind of active yielding. The metaphor here isn't a bowl, but maybe a vast sky where clouds, your thoughts, emotions just come and go.
A vast sky.
Okay.
And the practice.
The core practice is releasing control, just abiding in openness. Again, there's a potential misunderstanding here. Sometimes people see it as being passive or disengaged.
But it's not.
No, it's actually a profound form of connection and responsiveness. Think about a leader, maybe in a really difficult conversation.
Okay.
Holding space lets them listen deeply, stay present, offers safety without jumping in to fix everything. That allows emotions to surface and be processed.
Right.
But simultaneously, creating space lets them let go of their preconceived solutions, their agenda. That opens a door for totally new insights, maybe unexpected resolutions, to just emerge organically from the situation itself.
That interplay,
Mm-hmm.
holding and creating, that really clarifies it. It's not about doing more, is it? It's about doing differently
Yeah.
with awareness.
Exactly. Profound awareness.
So if space is so fundamental, how does our actual understanding of how we meet experience evolve? You mentioned stages of being.
Yes, this evolution seems to unfold through about 4 stages, each building on the one before. First, there's the instinctive stage.
Survival mode.
Pretty much. Operating from habit, fear, seeking immediate gratification. Wisdom here is about starting to recognize those patterns, maybe tuning into your body's signals, like that gut instinct warning you about something.
Okay, makes sense.
Then comes the intellectual stage. Logic, reason, analysis, that's the focus here. Wisdom at this level is about discerning awareness, seeing causes and effects beyond just the surface, holding multiple perspectives. Think strategic insight, like analyzing data for a business decision.
Standard rational thinking.
Right. But then we move to the intuitive stage, which actually goes beyond the purely rational mind.
How so?
Intuition synthesizes your experience and your discernment. Wisdom here means trusting and acting from that inner knowing, that sense of alignment with deeper patterns. Think about creativity, improvisation, like a jazz musician just knowing the next note, or deep listening in a conversation.
That gut feeling, but more refined.
You could say that. And finally, the highest evolution seems to be the counterintuitive stage.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Meaning it goes against logic.
Sometimes it goes against conventional logic or social conditioning, yes, because the wisdom here aligns with a deeper truth and it often embraces paradox.
Like what?
Like realizing that sometimes the best way forward is to stop pushing, or that giving up control can actually lead to greater influence. Think of those Zen koans that puzzle the mind, or the unexpected wisdom you find in Taoist teachings.
Ah, okay. That's fascinating.
And putting intuition in practice. Think about an experienced coach or maybe a mediator. They learn to trust the silences, right? Knowing that insight often pops up in those gaps. And at that counterintuitive level, they might realize that sometimes the most powerful thing they can do is step back, not step in.
Which feels wrong to the intellect initially.
Exactly. But it becomes second nature to that deeper cultivated wisdom. It means showing up isn't effortful anymore. It's just how you are, an expression of wisdom moving through you.
Okay, so bringing this all home, what does this mean for you, our listener, right here, right now? How does this connect back to escaping that flood?
Well, the key is that showing up isn't a one-time act. It's really an ongoing practice. It's about embodying wisdom in this present moment.
A commitment.
Yes, a commitment to living with presence right here, right now, with integrity always moving towards wholeness, and with that fluid responsiveness dancing with life as it unfolds.
Embracing spaciousness and openness.
Exactly. Integrating instinct, intellect, intuition, and really embracing impermanence, knowing each moment is totally new, an invitation to engage without being stuck in old identities or fixed outcomes. It's about being truly available to whatever life brings.
So as we wrap up not just this deep dive, but the whole series on inner wisdom, you can really think of it as a map, can't you?
A map through these 4 domains, yeah.
Waking up gave us that interdependent awareness. Growing up brought discernment, perspective. Cleaning up helped integrate the fragments with clarity. And now, showing up. It's about opening to emergence with presence, integrity, and responsiveness.
That sums it up beautifully.
And the implications here, they feel pretty significant,
Mm.
especially if you're a coach or a leader or really anyone trying to navigate complexity.
Absolutely. This isn't just abstract philosophy. It points to an expanded view of, say, ethics. One that includes inner work meditation, shadow work, contemplative inquiry.
It's about commitment to non-attachment too, isn't it? Guiding yourself and others beyond just conditioned wants.
Yes, and taking real responsibility for your own energy, your presence. Are you being a catalyst for insight or just passively observing? And it involves a deep awareness of suffering its causes and helping move towards genuine freedom and wisdom.
It really drives home that wisdom, as we've explored it, isn't some kind of optional luxury.
No, not at all.
It feels like an absolute necessity, especially now, to navigate the chaos, the disruption, to really stand firm in that flood.
Couldn't agree more.
So with that, we want to leave you with one final thought to ponder, taken directly from our source material. To cultivate wisdom is to move beyond seeking it. It is to embody it. So the question for you is, if wisdom isn't something you seek anymore, but something you become, what does it mean for you? For you to become the space through which life flows, effortlessly showing up to meet the world just as it is. Something to think